Good evening, everybody. Hey, I know not our normal scenery, but we wanted to make sure that we talked about today and the fun we had. So let's start off with our crazy adventures that sometimes we go on. And there's Shaw behind me. We'll talk about what he's doing in the back in a second when he's done. So today we went to St. Charlene's. She is the Cajun Saint. We saw this sign when we were passing and going to our second department. And so we decided to ask the department about it and go and see her memorial. Beautiful graves. If you've never been to Louisiana, you have to understand that they're below sea level. So all the graves are actually above ground for the most part. And so if you've never been to one of their grave sites or cemeteries, they're absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend you go and check it out during your travels.
But again, I think going back to Lance was really locally, there's so much history.
Yes. I mean, everywhere we go in Louisiana and so many other states, but in Louisiana, there's so many history items that we see and so many memorials. And you really have to, when you're traveling, just not make plans. Just go and find those random signs. Go find a random town and go and explore. So I'm going to get into more of the history and some stuff that we learned today in a second. Let's dive into our officers for the day. So our first department today was Jefferson Davis Parish. We were able to meet up with some of our friends that we met last year. They escorted us in today. Phenomenal people. And we spent most of the day with them. They also set up police escorts for us and was able to have an incredible showing for a Sunday. We were able to see all the families and loved ones of the fallen. So just a truly blessed day that we had for a Sunday on a holiday weekend to have such a great turnout that we had. So Jefferson Davis Parish had Deputy Claude Gilroy. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah,
Gilroy. And watch 8, 9, 20. Many of his family was there. We were able to meet grandchildren and his spouse and everything, and just such a phenomenal family. We were able to talk to the sheriff, multiple department members, and you could just tell that they truly love their community, and they missed him. They loved him, and it was a very tight-knit community, and they were sad to see him go when it happened. But it's great to see when a community loves their fallen that much and takes care of the survivors. When we have loved ones that have rough times with their departments, it's so saddening to us. But you could tell this department truly loved their survivors and took care of their needs and made them part of their family. So that's what we love seeing.
Warn Mindy. We're going to have Mindy reach out because his spouse really could use Mindy's help.
Yeah, so Mindy, if you're watching, I don't know, I haven't looked at the comments yet. If you're watching, we are going to reach out to you and get you connected with a spouse. You can probably look at our Facebook and see some of the photos today, but just she needs some help, and I know that you would be able to be a good mentor and help her out. So our second department was Church Point Police Department.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful town.
So we went to lunch over there and just started seeing the scenery and then drove into the town. When we got into town, we actually had to stop at a local train station, and the train station is no longer there, and they ripped out the railroad tracks. But when we were talking to the officers, it was built in 1907, and this beautiful deck that they had built, and you can see the photos on there. They had lined with people. You had both the sisters there. The daughter ended up showing up as well, and her family, and just a great turnout. But again, another family, another community that had just so much pain, and but such a great chief, and the department members were so humble, and they all told stories about Captain Kevin Tran, right? Yeah. And his end of watch day was 7/31/20. I asked his sisters about him, and if they could tell me some stories. And so they actually told me that he loved hunting. He loved hunting anything really. Deer. They'd go deer hunting, duck hunting. They would go just anything that you could. They would go out for every single season. And he was always known for having blinds on the property. The sheriff's department had a blind. The police department had a blind. There was prosecutors that had a blind on his property. And they would just all enjoy going out there and hunting with him. And they would always make these crazy baked goods, kind of a French bakery every time. And so their memory of him and their father was that they would always, during hunting season, have all the French bakery goods. So it was very cool to hear the great stories and wonderful to see that community. We also learned a little bit more about Mardi Gras, and you always see the huge parties and the craziness that you see in New Orleans. But I didn't know, and maybe you guys all know this and just didn't know the history, but there's actually different traditions, and there's some old traditions that started with a chicken run. And the farmer, they would travel around in these huge floats and everything that they built, and they would go to different farms and catch the chickens. They would all run around and catch chickens, and then they would take that and go and make the gumbo for the big feast to feed the community. So they no longer use the chickens that they catch to do that. They pre-make it, sadly, because they have to cook for so many people. But just so much tradition, and we were talking to some of the officers and how they still get to see how much time and effort get put into these floats. They're not like the Macy's Day Parade ones. These are RVs and buses and everything that people deck out and alternate and put tons of money into these things and time and effort. And everybody wears costumes and just has a blast. So much history, so much tradition over here. It was just really fun to hear the stories and the culture that's over here, because it's just so different. But it is a gorgeous drive through here. Every highway and overpass that we went through today, it was Highway 10. Yeah. You overlook the water and it splits over, and it's on a high rise, and you can see the swamp lands and everything. And it's just gorgeous over here. The rain is definitely a little much recently over here, but I guess it's been going on for about 2 months with heavy rain, but they love it over here. And I can see why, because it's absolutely gorgeous. And the food.
Don't forget about Rougarou.
Yes. Rougarou. Yes. So the Rougarou chapter of the Punishers were the ones that met us today, and they treated us to lunch. They escorted us all around town. Just great people, and we're very blessed to be able to have them join along with us. They definitely help us navigate a lot of times, because we're not from here, and so when we're traveling, it is nice to have a local to help us navigate around and find where we need to. Let's see. So we talked about the Saint. The other stop that we made along the way was at the Tiger Truck Stop. Okay. So if you guys have never seen the documentary on this, and I'm sure that most of you guys watched some type of documentary this last season when they were popular, but there's another documentary about this tiger. And there was a truck stop over here in Louisiana off of Highway 10. And it's called the Tiger Truck Stop. Now, it has a whole lot of history, because there was a tiger who was here for 17 and a half years. And he had a female tiger with him at one point as well. And the owner of that gas station, before it was sold, just loved tigers. And so he he got a facility and built this huge facility for the tiger, and the tiger lived 17 and a half years, which is very extensively long for a tiger, is what I researched today, by the way. I'm not a tiger expert, but it was a awesome experience. One thing that you have to try when you're over here is boiled peanuts. And I was not a believer until I tried them last year, but down in the South, towards the East South is what I've learned. They have boiled peanuts, and you can get them spicy or non-spicy, and they really are tasty. So I highly recommend you guys try that when you guys are doing some exploring. Now, while I'm doing the live, Shaw's back there. He currently took a pause, but one of the traditions that we like to do when we are traveling is write letters and write postcards and send them back to our loved ones back home. And first of all, it means a lot to our family. And honestly, I've been so bad about it since I've been here. But sometimes we need to pause and remember what we leave behind and the family we leave behind, and share what we're doing out here and share the areas that we are going to. And so these postcards, they're very simplistic, but sometimes they're just for people or places. And you can see these, they're just different things. And some of these Southern ones will actually do recipes. You can get different Cajun recipes. You can do recipes for crawdads. They have drink ones, right? So when you guys are doing the traveling and you guys are exploring these new places, hopefully starting this year or next year, get some postal cards and send them home. Doesn't matter if you send them to your own house. Send them home so you can have some memories, and just write a note about what you learned that day or what you did and the history behind it. So,
who taught you that, Lance?
JC taught me that. And I didn't really believe him. And then when I wrote a bunch when I was over here on the ride last year, I got home and they were all hanging on the fridge, and the girls loved getting them. And I didn't really realize the impact on them because they would all get excited about my postcards and seeing them. So take the time out of your day to make those. I know I'm going to start writing them tonight and make sure I stay up on it, because I know that my girls need it and my wife needs it. So I highly recommend you guys do the same. What?
Hi. Hello, my beloved Beyond the Call of Duty friends and family, and my beautiful End of Watch family. Good evening. Today is Sunday.
4th of July.
4th of July.
It's
Happy
Independence
4th.
Day.
It is. So
hopefully everybody is being safe out there. We talked about it yesterday. Do not drink and drive.
No.
Okay.
Seatbelts on.
Seatbelts on. Make
Safe
sure that you watch for red and blues. There's going to be a lot of them tonight with fire coming out, with EMS, okay, with police. Please pull over. All right.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Move over.
Watch around you.
And if you're doing any fireworks, please be careful.
Let's see. We got, Melissa's on here. Paul Emery is on here. We got Jerry and Hector, of course. I was hoping to see the wife of our department today. I told her it was supposed to be on here today.
She may come on later.
We'll see. Maybe she'll watch it later.
But you guys be blessed. Tomorrow we have a down day. We have to get all of our bikes serviced and all of our trucks serviced. Our local New Orleans Harley-Davidson dealership is opening their doors just for us.
Yes.
They are going to be open all day. So if you get a chance and you're in New Orleans, come see the beautiful memorial. See us. We'll be there all day. The bikes will be getting serviced, and the trucks will be getting serviced. And
so take that in mind that it is a holiday.
Yep.
And a Harley-Davidson is opening
New Orleans
for
Harley-Davidson is opening its doors.
If you can't show up, at least send a thank you to New Orleans Harley-Davidson, because they were one that wanted to step out of their way and do this for us. So
all 339.
We really appreciate it, and we want to thank them. So continue to watch along with our story and follow along with where our memorial trailer is going to be heading this next week. We will update you guys on what we're doing on the 6th, because we will have, I believe, 2 or 3 departments that we're stopping in. We have 2 or 3 more in Louisiana, and then we'll be heading into the Florida area. Our website has all those events on there. Please follow along. If you guys missed us for some reason, we hope that we can catch you in another state along the way. Be safe this weekend, guys. Love you all.
Bless you.
God bless.
Love you.